We start macroeconomics with a discussion about the circular flow of income. The circular flow model is a simplified representation of how the basic decision making units of an economy, like households and firms, the government, and in an open economy where international trade is taking place, how the exporters and importers are interacting with each other. It is very useful because it describes the flow between these units, and these flows may include the flow of factors of production, the flows of goods and services, and even the monetary flow of expenditure on goods and services, and even the income generated in the production process. Our ultimate goal from this circular flow of income is to build a model of macroeconomics which can help us determine the national income of an economy. So once we understand the circular flow of income, we will be able to generate a model from this discussion which can help us in determining how the expected or future income of an economy looks like. We begin our circular flow of income by looking at first the household and firm. So we have the household, which is the owner of those factors of production like land, labor, capital, enterprise. And then we have firm, which wants these factors of production to make output. So the household will give firms what we call factors of production, which includes land, labor, capital, and enterprise. The firm then uses these factors of production and then produce what we call output or goods and services. So the goods and services will now flow from the firm to the household, and that means that once the household receives this, they are going to pay firms what we call expenditure on these outputs. So the expenditure is basically the expenditure on goods and services, and we call this expenditure the expenditure on domestic goods and services, because again these goods are produced in the economy and not produced abroad. So this expenditure is flowing from the household to the firm on goods and services, and then the firm receiving this expenditure is able to generate what we call an income, which will then be flowing from the firm to the household. And why is this income being given? Because again, the factors of production are owned by the household, like land, labor, capital, enterprise, and in return there has to be some income that has to flow for these factors of production. For example, there will be rent, there will be wages, there will be interest, and there will also be the flow of profit, which will be going from the firm to the household. Now the story doesn't end here, because sometimes the money that is coming from the firm to the household in terms of income is not spent on the domestic goods and services. Some of it is what we say is withdrawn or is a leakage. What is withdrawal or leakage? We say withdrawal or leakage refers to those part of national income that are not used for consumption. A withdrawal from circular flow of income is therefore spending which does not flow back from the household to firm. One such kind of a leakage or withdrawal, and the symbol for withdrawal is W, that we have in an economy is called saving. Why do we call saving as a withdrawal or leakage? Well, simply because when the money is saved, it's not spent on goods and services, and as a result of not being spent on goods and services, it is kind of withdrawing of income that is happening in the economy. This kind of withdrawal will shrink because you are saving, maybe you're saving for the future, you're accumulating wealth, but that may result in future expenditure to go up, but not the current expenditure to go up. Similarly, if the government decides to tax, that also becomes another leakage from the circular flow of income. This is that part of income that the government takes away in terms of, let's say, direct taxes, and that means the money will not be spent on current goods and services. Lastly, if the consumers don't spend on goods and services which are made in the domestic economy but are actually spending on imports, then we will again see a withdrawal that takes place in the economy. So the withdrawal in an economy will be saving plus taxes plus imports, and these are the withdrawals that will shrink our economy, that will make our economy smaller, because if an economy has a lot of imports or a lot of taxes or a lot of saving, then basically not much money will be spent in the economy on the domestic goods and services. Another kind of sort of component that we look in a circular flow of income is what we call injections. Injections are basically those part of expenditure that are flowing into the economy. In other words, we say it's supplementary expenditure, not originating from the domestic household but from other sources, such as, and the symbol that we use for injection is J. So the first injection we look at is investment. This is expenditure which is flowing into the economy and is done by the firm, but that will be generating more income in the future. So we say one such injection that results in an expenditure which is not originating from domestic household is investment. Another such kind of an injection that makes the economy grow and results in more output to be generated is what we call government expenditure. Now, this government expenditure, of course, is being funded through those taxes, but we say G, the government expenditure, is again money which is coming into the economy, and the money that is coming into the economy through not household but another source like government. Lastly, we also add the component of exports. Now, export is that expenditure which is done by, of course, foreigners, but it's done on our goods and services, and that results in income for our economy to grow. So while imports may shrink economy, exports may increase the size of the economy, and that's why it's an injection. So we say the withdrawal in an economy are saving plus taxes plus imports, and the injections in the economy are investment plus government expenditure plus exports. Now we can say that there might be indirect links between the injections and withdrawals, because if you look at it, the more savings you do through the financial institutions, that money can come back to the economy in terms of investment, because the banks will have more funds available to give as loans for investment. Similarly, if tax receipts are higher, that this means taxes are higher, then the government may be keener to increase its expenditure. So T is kind of funding G, and S is kind of like providing funds for I. And lastly, if imports increase, incomes for people go up abroad, and that will mean that higher sort of income can lead to more exports for another country. So imports can result in also sometimes money flowing in terms of exports. Now, when we look at the equilibrium in the economy, the equilibrium may look slightly differently. In equilibrium, we argue that the injections with the symbol J must be equal to the withdrawal, the symbol W. So, for example, let's say injections are greater than withdrawal. So what will happen in an economy if injections, which is money coming into the economy, are greater than the money going out of the economy in withdrawal? Remember, injections are investments and government expenditure and exports. If that is high, then one would argue that this is good news for an economy, because more money coming in than going out of the economy or circular flow means that there will be a rise in national income. And this rise in national income means that suddenly your income, where the symbol we use normally is Y, more Y or more income will lead to not only more spending on domestic goods and services, let's call that CD, C for consumption, D for domestic goods and services, but also people will have a higher ability to save. So saving will go up. Not only that, the government will tax more because now the incomes are going up, and also there will be more withdrawals in terms of people buying more imports. So M will go up. So S, T and M goes up, leading to withdrawals to go up in the economy. And when the withdrawals go up into the economy, so higher income leading to higher withdrawals, this means that you will come to a point where this rise in withdrawal will continue to happen till the withdrawal become equal to injection. So we argue this, that If injections are more than withdrawals, then the national income will rise, which will ultimately cause withdrawals to rise. But this rise in withdrawal will keep on happening till W becomes equal to J or the economy reaches an equilibrium. Vice versa, let's say if J is less than W. If J is less than W, we argue this that will result in what we call a fall in national income. Why will there be a fall in national income? Well, we say if there will be a fall in national income because now more money is going out of the economy than coming into the economy. And this fall of national income, why, will mean consumption on domestic goods will fall, but there will also be a fall of all the savings because people have less income now. Government will tax you less because now you are earning less money. So if the taxes are progressive, the tax rates will go down, or even tax amounts will go down, and even imported goods expenditure will go down. All of this will mean that there will be a fall of withdrawals. So withdrawals will fall, and this fall of withdrawal will keep on happening when W becomes equal to J. Remember, W was greater than J, or J was less than W, but because when J is less than W, incomes fall, and then this fall of income will lead to again the fall of W till W and J become equal. So we say, in short, that in equilibrium, all the injections in the circular flow are equal to withdrawals in the circular flow.